ಗೋವಿಂದ ಬೃಂದಾವನ ಚಂದ ಅನಾಥನಾಥ ದೀನ ಬಂಧು ರಾಧೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ ರಾಧೆ 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 ಗೋವಿಂದ ರಾಧೆ 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 ಗೋವಿಂದ ವೃಂದಾವನ ಚಂದ ವೃಂದಾವನ ಚಂದ ಅನಾಥನಾಥ ದೀನ ಬಂಧು ರಾಧೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ ನಾರಾಯಣ ಚೋರ ರಾಧೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಕುಮಾರ ನವನಿತ ಚೋರ ರಾಧೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ ವೃಂದಾವನ ಚಂದ ವೃಂದಾವನ ಚಂದ ಅನಾಥನಾಥ ದೀನ ಬಂಧು ರಾಧೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಪುರಾಣ ಪುರುಷ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ರಾಧೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ ವೃಂದಾವನ ಚಂದ ವೃಂದಾವನ ಚಂದ ಅನಾಥನಾಥ ದೀನ ಬಂಧು ರಾಧೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಪಂಡರಿನಾಥ ಪಾಂಡುರಂಗ ರಾಧೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ ವೃಂದಾವನ ಚಂದ ವೃಂದಾವನ ಚಂದ ಅನಾಥನಾಥ ದೀನ ಬಂಧು ರಾಧೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಜಯ ಹರಿ ವಿಠಲ ಜಯ ಹರಿ ವಿಠಲ ರಾಧೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ ವೃಂದಾವನ ಚಂದ ವೃಂದಾವನ ಚಂದ ಅನಾಥನಾಥ ದೀನ ಬಂಧು ರಾಧೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಅನಾಥನಾಥ ದೀನ ಬಂಧು ರಾಧೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ ನಂದನಂದನ ಜಯ ಶ್ಯಾಮ ಗೋಪಾಲ ನಂದನಂದನ ಜಯ ಶ್ಯಾಮ ಗೋಪಾಲ ಮುಕುಂದ ಮಾಧವ ಹೃದಯ ವಿಲೋಲ ಮುಕುಂದ ಮಾಧವ ಹೃದಯ ವಿಲೋಲ ನಂದನಂದನ ಜಯ ಶ್ಯಾಮ ಗೋಪಾಲ ಗೋವರ್ಧನಧರ ಗೋಕುಲಪಾಲ गोवर्धनोद्धर गोकुलपाला गोपीजनवल्लभ मनोहर गोपीजनवल्लभ मनोहर नन्दनन्दन जय श्याम गोपाला मुकुन्द माधव हृदय विलोला नन्दनन्दन जय श्याम गोपाला श्याम गोपाला श्याम गोपाला सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्तदामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः Devaya tasmai namaha. There is no shortcut to freedom. Any shortcut is short-lived. Arjuna thought that by not doing action, one would become ready for moksha, liberation, all problems will be solved. It is like somebody thinking, by closing my eyes, I will not have a problem of the world. By running away or escaping from responsibilities, one will never be free. Therefore, Bhagavan said, Nakarmanam anarambat naishkarmyam purushoshnute nacha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhigacchati. Renunciation is not escapism. Renunciation is not giving up, it is growing up. One has to grow in understanding and knowledge and grow beyond what is known as our own habits, desires, demands, expectations. And that is not an overnight thing. One man was so frustrated with his family, so he decided to run away from home. Because his family, wife, children and other things, so he went to Himalayas. Then he was living in a small cave in isolation. He never studied under anybody, no knowledge also. He thought renunciation is the easiest way to get out of all problems. And he had only one changing clothes. One cloth he was wearing, set of clothes, another set of clothes he was carrying. And in that very small cave, there were a lot of rat problems. So that rat ate away the cloth. So he had got frustrated. So he did not know what to do. So he went around and then he found small kutir there, and there was another sadhu Baba was there with some disciples. He went and told, this is a problem, what do I do? Oh, this is common problem here. I have another set of clothes for you to wear, but also have a cat with you. So the cat is there, rat won't come. All right, he took the cat, but the sadhu said, you have to give him milk every day. Then only the cat will stay. So what do I go for milk? Oh, when you are going for bhiksha, ask for milk also, for the cat. He said, okay. So next day onwards, when he was going for bhiksha, he asked for milk also. But people, they are hand-to-mouth people in that living area. They did not have much milk for themselves also. So they gave a very little milk. So this cat was not happy with that milk. So one day it ran away. So again rat came and ate his clothes. So he went again to that Baba and said, Kya kare abhi? So because you are not giving much of milk, so how do I solve that problem? I have extra cow. You take that cow and another cat also. So you can milk your cow and then enough milk will be there for you as well as for the cat. So the problem is not there. But one thing is, you have to graze the cow. Okay? So then he took that cow as well as the cat. And the cow, of course, in that kutir it was okay, all that covered, but in the cave in which he was living, it is such a small cave, No doubt he was taking the cow for grazing, but at night it has to be inside only. And it put all the dungs The smell and then mosquito and all that. And every day he has to clean the entire place. So then milking and grazing, it's a lot of work. See, after some time he went to that Baba and said, this is too much of work. You asked for it. What do I do? My servant, he has a daughter. You can have her if you want. He took her with him. And then after some time, children were born. Samsar shuru ho gaya. Now tell me, by escaping problems without knowledge, without understanding of what you need to do, by merely running away from issues of the world, there cannot be any peace or liberation or freedom. So, na sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhigacchati. By not doing work will not leave you. Because work is none other than expression of desire. What we desire is what we would like to accomplish. Desire can be accomplished only by work. So without removing the desire in your mind, that's what earlier itself he said, Prajahadi yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmaneva atmana tushtaha sthita prajna. So without removing the desire, if you stop work, it will be a short period of time where you will have some freedom. But then, if the desires are there, काम है तो काम है, नहीं? काम है तो काम है तो mind काम नहीं है. So therefore, knowledge also essential to grow beyond the desires. That's why Bhagavan said, by not working, karmanam anarambat naishkarmyam na ashnute. Sanyasanat eva jnanam vina. Without knowledge, only by renunciation, na siddhim samadhigacchati. You will not attain siddhi, fulfillment. So do not come to a hasty conclusion, O Arjuna, that because you are impressed by the description of a sthita prajna who is free while living, you cannot jump to a conclusion that anybody can straight away go for it. No. Preparation is necessary. And you being a man of action, start the process from where you are. All of us, wherever we are at this present moment, from there only our sadhana should begin. And where are we? We are in the world of action, karma bhumi. So how to start preparing for the final goal? Final goal being freedom from one's own self-created shackles of life. Not from the world. You can never be free of this world. Gurudev used to say that if you want to be free of the world, lie down, 4 people will carry you. That is the only time you will be really free for a short time. You cannot be free of this world. It will be there. So here he says, in the world of action, how to engage, whichever be the field of action you are. You are a Kshatriya, Brahmana, Vaishya, Shudra, whatever you are, whatever kind of action you do, there is a universal, simple teaching here is, verse number, next one. Tasmadasakta satatam Karyam karma samachara Asakto kyacharan karma paramapnoti purushaha. Tasmat, therefore, Arjuna, satatam sada aharnisham sarveshu kaleshu, at all times, karyam karma, kartavyam karma samachara, samyak achara. Engage in action which you have to do. Karyam here means, it's a qualifier for that karma. Not any karma, karyam karma. So karyam karma क्या होता है? What is to be done? So in Vedanta we see 4 broad divisions of karma. Here what we mean by karma is action, work. Sometimes in American context karma means karma phala, right? Oh, it's all because of my karma. That karma is karma phalam we are talking about, result of action. We are talking about the work itself. How do you broadly divide the work? First one is, what should not be done? We may think this is correct to do, but according to scriptures, certain things you are not supposed to do. They are called nishiddha karma. Nisiddha. Not to be done by you. Nishiddha karma. Now, like when you are trying to learn how to drive a car, don't the trainer would say, how not to drive the car? First thing he will teach you how not to do it. Because very likely we do not know and then we'll get into trouble. I always ask the parents, when they say, my daughter has decided to now drive a car, she's a teenager, what do I do? I said, when your teenage daughter is ready to drive the car, what you should do is, don't stand on her way. So nishiddha is what should not be done. So when you are smoking, it's written there, smoking is can cause cancer. So it's written there. Now don't do it. But yes, very good. So then you are not following what is said there. There is a caution there. So what is nishiddha? This is to be understood. Then the other 3 categories are kamya. Kamya karma is what you do because you have some desire and the action can only fulfill those. So that is kamya karma. So according to your desire, those actions which can fulfill your desire. And most of us are, if you look at yourself, most of us are busy with this only. Morning till evening. So just now summer, I had a long Europe trip, so much money is spent. Now I have to work like a horse for the next 1 year, so that next year I can go for a cruise. So the desire for the cruise is cruising you to do this, that, and go for this project, that project, take more responsibilities and all that. So kama instigates or impels you to act. It's kamya karma. The third one is what comes to you due to a particular situation in life. Naimittika karma. Nimittatvat. And nimittatvat means according to your obligations that you have got due to living in this society. Marriages, social gathering. Those things are Not on a regular basis it comes to you. Once in a while when it comes, you have to oblige to it. Relationship, so there somebody is not well, you go there. Or somebody's marriage, somebody's birthday, or the social meeting parties, and so many things are there. Some people are busy with that very long. No, they plan for it and do that, and the whole time they're planning for that. So, nimitta karma. Now comes the last but not least, the most important, nitya karma. In this nitya karma, which is otherwise known as kartavya karma. Kartavya means to be done, and to be done by you alone. Kartavya. So Bhagavan here says, know what is kartavya. Understand what is kartavya. Karyam karma. Kartavya karma. So, Nishiddha karma has got Nishiddha phalam. What is not to be done, when you do, the result of that is what should not be enjoyed by you. Meaning, it is not correct for you to enjoy the result of a Nishiddha karma, because it is not appropriate. Stealing, looting, cheating. And the result of that also, if you start enjoying, then you will start going towards that more and more. Kamya karma gives kamya phalam. So like persons who are doing rituals, they go to a priest and say that, oh, I want to do Satyanarayana Katha, or Ayusha Homa, or Ganapati Homa, this Homa, that Homa. And then with that Sankalpa also, that the priest says, okay, you will chant. Shubhe Shovane Murte, Adya Brahmanaha, Didya Prarte, Shvedavara Kalpe, Vivasvatavanadare Kalige, Pradime Padi Ashmin Nathwani, Vavarka, and he keeps on going. Nitya, and he will say, Shema, Sairya, Virya, Vijaya, Ayuhu, Arogya. Sometimes you will say Sankalpa will go on for half an hour. Puja maybe only 10 minutes. Because all these are Kamya. So the Kamya phalam is out of Kamya karma. Desire. So not only what you do in the world, but also rituals are also for Kamya phala siddhi. Swarga prapti, Abhyudaya prapti, prosperity and things like that. Now, nimitta karma has got nimitta phala, meaning being a part of the society, when you are doing things as a social animal, so for the sake of being friendly with your society or relatives, etc. So when you want their help, then you also get help from them. So that is also considered as a part of your day life. Now, interesting point is this nitya karma, otherwise known as kartavya karma, otherwise known as karya karma, does not have results. Kartavyasya phalam chitta shuddhihi. Sandhya vandanadi karma, it is prescribed. Uska phal kya hai? Iska phal swarga prapti nahi hai, punya bhi nahi hai. Why it is so? Because being at a particular stage of life, you are expected to do that. Akarmane, akarane phalamasti. When you don't do it, there is a result. It is not for us to get scared of that. The boy went to school and asked this teacher, if I don't do, do you punish me for a thing I did not do? No, I didn't do my homework. So, by not doing what you are supposed to do, is it not that you are punished? So Nitya Karma, or known as Kartavya Karma or Karya Karma, not doing will result in unwanted results. See, why he's saying is, you being a Kshatriya, for fighting your war it is, or for fulfilling your duty as a soldier is not Nishiddha, not Kamya, not even Naimittika. It is Kartavya Karma. Now let me give some example to it, then you will understand. If you see a boot camp, the military camp, every day they have to get ready for the war. Is it not? Every day they have to do their physical exercise, training, and as though war is round the corner. Otherwise, what happens? When the enemy is already in the corner, you say, "Where is my shoe? Where is the gun? I not even wear it. I not kept wear it." That time you start clean. No, you have to be ready even if there is nothing is happening. Is it not? I don't know. You are not in the boot camp, so you don't understand. It is not because of the war you should be ready. You should do the daily readiness. The readiness must be done, or whatever you need to do for being ready for the war every day. As though it is going to happen tonight, or tomorrow, or now. A Kshatriya should do his Kartavya Karma. In the same way, if there is a priest in a temple, for him to do the Trikala Puja of the Lord is Kartavya, not Kamya. Why? Because he being the one who is communicating your prayers to the Lord, he must be pure. He is self-purifying himself so that your prayers he conveys to the Lord, so he has to get prepared for that. So for a priest, it is a Kartavya Karma, not Kamya. It is not Naimittika. It is not Nishiddha. It is Karya. Similarly, a person who has a dukan, a shop, he will be ready for the customer every day, right? Making sure that all the products that he is keeping, let's say that he has a hotel, he doesn't know who is going to come. He has a restaurant, he doesn't know. So he prepares the food and be ready, because if anybody wants any kind of whatever is the menu, he must be able to mix and match. Yesterday's idli become today's upma. So that he must be ready. When somebody comes and orders, then he will go to the shop to buy the vegetables. Or prepare the dough at that time. So think about it, whether it's a Vaishya or Shudra or Kshatriya or Brahmana, all of them have got Kartavya. But in this context of understanding, Vedas, what do they say? Akarane phalamasti. When you don't do it, there is a consequence. Tasmat, therefore, in this Kartavya Karma, you don't expect result. What is the result you want? Asaktaha karyam karma kuru. Do it with no expectation of results. And the result is not external. Result is that every action has got a result. But here in the Kartavya Karma, the result is mind becoming pure. Whether you are Kshatriya, Brahmana, Shudra or Vaishya, whatever it is, the result of Kartavya Karma is Manashuddhi, Chitta Shuddhi. Why Chitta Shuddhi? Because you are not anxious about any particular external result, but you are doing it. While doing itself, your mind becomes focused, detached, one-pointed, and not anxious. See, for me, giving lecture is a Kartavya Karma. And I am not at all interested whether you understand or not. I'm not anxious. Because at the end of the talk, did you understand? Swami, 1 hour you spoke. If I ask you, I spoke 1.5 hours, what did you understand? Nothing. I will not be disappointed. Why? I am not anxious about the result at all. It's kartavya hai. So Bhagavan Krishna says, Tasmat, therefore Arjuna, this war is an opportunity for you to express your kartavya. And in that, whatever be the result, you take it. Because his question was what earlier, if you look at the chapter 2 or before, he says, whether we will win or they will win, what will happen? Just do what you're supposed to do. Just do it, like Nike. Do it. That's called Kartavya Karma. I think Nike should come as an ad. Nike, Kartavya. Just do it. Don't ask for result. So when a person is able to focus on doing and is doing his best, his mind cannot waver. He is not interested in what is going to happen because I am doing my best in this situation. Tasmad asakta satadam karyam karma samachara. Do it well, samyak achara. Asakto hi acharan, that's why he says next line, when you are doing it with such a detachment from the result, acharan, what do you get? Param purushaha apnoti. Paramapnoti purushaha. An individual gets the highest. Highest was what? The highest goal of moksha. He becomes ready for that. What creates the impediment between us and the freedom is not outside. First day itself I told you, it is the impurities of the mind that denies us the bliss which we already are. How many of you now can go to sleep right now? Can you? You can. When one person came to me and said, Swamiji, I am unable to sleep, what do I do? I said, give my lecture, I'll give you in a tape, you listen to it. Gone. See, even though sleep is happening not outside you, is it happening outside you? Sleep is happening inside you only, and when another 3 hours or 4 hours. So, that state of sleep is where right now? That state of mind where you are able to sleep is available to you even now. And why you are not able to invoke it immediately? Because there are so many other demands are there. This lecture sunne ke baad mujhe खाना hai, और वहाँ जाना है, I have to do this, I have to do that. So many things are lined up, and therefore you have postponed your sleep to another 3 hours later. But so another 3 hours later, it's not going to come from outside. Is it not? In the same way, samadhi sthiti is already there with us. We are not available to it because of the kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara, ityadi. So many impurities are there. Therefore, the mind naturally should be able to dwell into the bliss of the self, is not able to do that. So, impurities are removed, then such a mind is ready for samadhi at will. That is the nature of the one is explained earlier as prajnavan, or the one who is siddha prajna. He not only has the purity of mind, but also he has the correct knowledge, what it is. So, asakto hi acharan. Because very often we say asaktaha purushaha na acharati. The person who is detached, why should he work? See, if I say work without looking for, without anxiety for result, then why should I work? If I'm not going to get a result, why should I work then? It is because in that state of detached work alone, mind will lose all the... Because impurities are what? It's all created by desire only. Kama teva krodha. You've seen the ladder of all also, it is there. Is it not? What is that called? Jayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho vijayate krodhat bhavati sammoha sammoha smriti vipramaha smriti bhramshat buddhinasha buddhinashat pranashyati. So kamasya mulak, krodhasya karanam kamaha. Anger cannot be on a thing which you don't care about. If your neighbor's son is not doing well in the school, are you upset about that? No. So desire is the cause of anger. And desire not fulfilled, anger. Desire fulfilled, greed. Lobha. Desire you have and you are able to get whatever you desire, then it is moha. Our mother, pride. You desire, somebody gets it. Matsarya. Jealousy. So if you look at it, what is the root cause of all of them? Kama teva krodha, moha, lobha, mada, matsarya, everything. So asaktaha means kamarahita. So asaktaha acharan karma, by overcoming desire for anxiety for the self, when you do it, all the associated impurities caused by the kama will also get reduced. Such a person alone, paramapnoti. Then alone, such a person will become ready for Supreme. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. Correct. Go ahead. Go ahead. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushtitat swadharme nidhanam shreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. Remember, Arjuna asked about Shreyas. What is Shreya? Yes, Shreyasya nishchitam bruhi tanme. Shishyah teham shadimam tvam prapannam. So what is Shreyas? So Bhagavan uses the same word which he had asked for. Swadharmaha vigunaha api shreyan. Indeed, one's own kartavya karma, based upon one's stage of life, as well as what he or she is inclined to. That is the Swadharma. Swadharma is not only what is to be done at this stage of life. In today's world, we are not able to define the Swadharma because we are not sticking to the qualification of that particular stage. Or what we are supposed to be doing, we are not sticking to that. Now, in the traditional context, let me explain to you on the traditional context and then we'll come to present day context. Let us say a Kshatriya or Vaishya or Brahmana or which Shudra, in their household, everything is being done according to that particular mindset of the people. If it is a carpenter's house, then father is a carpenter, uncle is a carpenter, brother is a carpenter, cousin is a carpenter. So what will that fellow do? Because from the very first day, as he opened the eyes to the world, what does he say? only wood and carpentry. So he naturally gets inclined to that. And he doesn't need to go outside to learn anything. The father is doing that because he learned from his father. So everything is already environmentally fit for him, so that the skill that is required for his survival is already given to him from the very early childhood. And let's say a person who is born to a Brahmana who is doing the puja in the temple, then the boy from the day one onwards he starts to learn how to chant, what puja to be done, how to do the puja, rituals, mantras, everything is there for him. He doesn't need to learn from somewhere else. There's no going to go to learn somewhere else, because the environment itself prepares that child for it. But the society had undergone so much of change, so while individuals have started to not stick to the same kind of profession one is been doing at the family, one goes to something else. Because of what? Because not satisfied with the present, what he is supposed to do. Iyengar bakery. What Iyengar has got to do with the bakery? You tell me that. It is like Sadhu Bidi. What is Sadhu got to do with the Bidi? You know, this is okay. I saw Gandhi liquor store. Think about it. So now, idea is that in the older tradition, where the ancient system, not only in India, everywhere also, there is no going out to learn anything because everything is provided for survival. But as our demand has increased, when we started to live in a larger society and we start to compare ourselves with others, oh, he has this much and she has this much, therefore this is not sufficient for me. So therefore they moved on to paradharma. Here we should understand the context. Arjuna, do not compare yourself with anybody else. As a Kshatriya, what is your sadharma? Stick to that. Please understand, we are talking about close to 8 to 10,000 years back society. And very often they say, these are all not correct, Swami. This doesn't apply to us, Swami. Yes, not. Why? Because in that context is correct. Swadharme swadharmaha vigunaha api. Compared to something else, definitely is vigata gunaha. Isn't it? Obviously, a standard of life a person has with a profession he or she knows is definitely different from a standard of life another person has according to his or her profession. Not all of them are the same. So if a Brahmana who is given to certain particular lifestyle definitely will be different from a person who has a land and like a Kshatriya or a Vaishya who has a lot of other provisions and prosperity and money, and definitely it is not. But in today's context, when we have to understand, coming back to today's context, according to your inclination, take your work. See, I'm sure many of you who have done various different branches of education or not profession, half of you or more than half of you are doing software. Correct or not? What is your engineering? Metallurgy. What are you doing? Software. What is metallurgy you have to do with the software? No, so why you have taken the software? Because your inclination, or that is the job I got it. That is the job that I can survive with. I know one person, when I was growing up, he was my neighbor, elder to me, and he wanted to do medical. He wanted to be a doctor, but his father was a police officer, and a very strict police officer. And this boy, he told that I want to be a doctor, but the father said, I cannot afford it. No, no, with your influence you can make it happen. No, I will not use my influence. So that boy became a bank manager, eventually. But he always had the inclination to be a doctor. So he parallelly learned, whenever he got a free time, he was studying all the medical books, etc. So anybody in that area had any medical issue, they wouldn't go to the doctor, they go to him. Because he had a better solution than any doctor. And he won't charge also. So that boy grew up and then he studied this and then he was working as a bank manager, no doubt, but his mind is not on that. He will go and sit in a doctor's place and he will chat with them and then he will, learn. Even though he was not doing that profession. And then I asked him once, even though he elder to me, I asked him, why you are spending so much time? You are having enough money, the job, bank manager job, those times, you 9 to 5 job, and you have got enough money. Why are you interested to go to the clinic and sit there? That is where my mind is quiet, Swami. I feel so happy doing that. Now, in a Swadharma, you will be able to engage in that action even if you are not paid. The action itself, the work itself is a great joy to you. Find out that is your Swadharma. And if you are able to engage in that as your work, that is the best. If you are able to follow your Swadharma and that itself is your professional work, then there is nothing can beat it. Because you are not only enjoying it, at the same time you are earning it also. Very rare is such a possibility, but if it is possible, then one should pursue that. Now I will tell you why that also. Your inclination is an expression of your vasanas. Your inherent tendency, your impressions of the past, what you have gathered over many lives is present in you, and that wants to express itself. And when your work is able to express that vasana, then that is the place where you find your contentment, fulfillment. So here he says, what is that, Arjuna, do you think is your inclination? Even though Arjuna says, no, I will go like what you said, to gain the Siddha Prajnatva, I will go and renounce this work of a Kshatriya and I'll go into his isolation and sit there quietly in meditation. You cannot. Why? Because from the birth onwards, you are born as a Kshatriya. That itself will make you engage in that action. Number one, that is your Kartavya Karma. Secondly, your mind is not overcome the vasanas of being Kshatriya. So even if you come out of that and then go and somewhere sit in the corner or a solitude, that Duryodhana fellow, you will not be able to do it. Later on he would say, even if you don't want, you will do it. Even if you don't want to fight, you will do it. Prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. Everybody will act according to their prakriti. You cannot stop it. So therefore he says, Shreyan, best. Swadharmaha. Vigunaha api. Even if it is according to you, compared to other things, it look like as though it does not have as much qualification as the other one. Paradharmat, than the other dharma. Parasya dharma. Shreyan prasadharmo vigunaha paradharmat. Even if you are doing some other work, suanushtitat paradharmat. Even if you are capable of doing some other thing. It is often seen that some people are interested in somebody else's work while their files are piling up. I can do your job better. Well, he will say, you do your work first. So, Swadharma in your own work, Nidhanam, dying, is Shreya. In the field of action, what is Shreyas? Swadharma anushtanameva Shreya. Following your Swadharma alone is considered as the best thing now. Paradharmaha, doing something else, is Bayam Vahati, Bhayavaha. It will only cause insecurity and uncertainty. See, I used to give this example. Gurudev, when he was a journalist, he went to Swami Shivananda, as you all know. Swami Shivananda was a doctor in Malaysia, and he practiced for many years there, and then the call came for him so that I should go and learn about yoga and other things. So he left that job of being a doctor, and he came to India and learned under many masters, and he became an excellent yogi. And then he started the Divine Life Society, and he trained so many of them in that path. But ultimately, on a daily basis, what he was doing? Treating patients. Free. In the Himalayas for the poor people. So, see, what he left behind was profession of a medical doctor. What was he doing now? After being a sannyasi also, what he was doing? That only. But that did not, he did not get disturbed by that. Why? Now, earlier I was doing for my profession, now I am doing the same thing for as a service. With nothing to take from the world. So is there any change in the action what he has done? No. But in the attitude, yes. So also Gurudev was a journalist, writing about social issues in the magazine, and then for that reason only he went to Shivananda ashram to find out what these sadhu babas are doing and want to expose to the world. That's why he went as an investigative journalist. But only to understand that what he has been thinking was wrong. And these people are so noble. They are doing such a noble work which others don't even know in this world. They were living in isolation and doing such a work, and the world does not know. So therefore I have to go to the world and tell them what they are doing. Then he started writing, being a journalist. Then Shivananda said, if you can write, why not you speak? No, I cannot speak. Try. So what he was earlier thinking and writing, he started to put in the form of communicating through lectures. Then that became his way of life. No, did he leave his work? No, he did not. But what was his earlier attitude? And what is it now? Now it is seva. I am communicating to the world what is good for them. And there are so many such Mahatmas you will see that they have what they were doing, they never left it. They converted that into seva. So Swadharma they continued. So Swadharme Nidhanam Shreya. Gurudev was asked this question by somebody, you are a sadhu, but we never seen you doing any puja, upasana. How is that? He said, who told you that I am not doing any upasana? My altar is BMI chart. And he said, my deity is the audience. By explaining the BMI chart and explaining Gita is my upasana. So the altar is here. I am doing puja every day. So you may think that I am not going to the temple or an altar and doing the puja, but this is my altar. I am doing puja here. So the Mahatmas, even though they have gained the correct knowledge, they never leave what they have been doing by converting that reaction into something which is greatly useful to the world, through which the vasana gets purified. The vasanas are still there, they are given a new dimension. So, Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha Paradharmat Swanushtitat Swadharme Nidhanam Shreyaha Paradharmo Bhayavaha. Why Bhayavaha? Because if you are not converting your vasanas into seva, that vasana will continue to hold captive and it will not leave you. By doing something else other than what your vasanas incline you to do, you are not going to be released from those vasanas. They will continue to hold you. And therefore, Arjuna, even if you run away from this battlefield, you are not going to be free. Even if you are taking to sannyas and then sit in isolation, your vengeance and anger towards the Kauravas, and then you are being so upset with Karna and Duryodhana will not go away. It will continue to be there. It is better to be in the battlefield and with the understanding of what is the highest dharma, understanding that you have to re-establish dharma in this world, fight the enemies and finish it, than sitting in isolation and brooding over it. So that is the reason he gave this particular advice to Arjuna. Now, when we talk about vasanas, vasate idi vasana. That because it remains as our own innermost personality. Vasanas are those, why they are called causal body? Because they are those which causes the body. Some people, they say they don't causal body, they say casual body. It's not casual body, it is a causal body. Because karanat karana sharira. This karana sharira, otherwise known as vasanamaya kosha, is the one which gives the energy and sustenance to subtle body. Meaning, it constantly creates the thoughts in the subtle body. Vasanas are those which are constantly creating the thoughts in our mind. So, when a particular thought arises in your mind, there can be two possible resources, one outside, one inside. Now, you are all here. Why? Why? Because they organized the program. Right? A set of people have decided to call the Swami and then have a program. And so they have organized this. So external cause why you are here. But internal cause is you wanted it. Why others are not there? Because they don't have that internal cause or internal vasana for this is not there in them. Therefore, even if you organize it, they won't come. So external world also creates an environment for you, and internally you have the inclination for that. So this is matched at this present condition. So the subtle body gets the thoughts created by the vasanas and external world supports it. That is what is causing the action. If you did not have the thought to come here, would you come here? So where did the thought came from? Let us say both of us are looking at the same news magazine and there is a Hollywood, you know what you call that? They have that Hollywood, what is it? No, the Hollywood, what is it called? On stage they perform, no? What is it called? Broadway show, that is a Broadway show. Hollywood, even though I live in Broadway, I don't go, Hollywood I won't go in. So Hollywood Broadway show. Lion King, let us say. So I see the newspaper, Hollywood Broadway show. Oh, okay, then next page, something else. So you see it, and say, oh, Broadway show, Swamiji, Lion King. Now the advertisement remaining the same, I do not give any attention to it, but you do. Why? Your vasanas are for that. And I don't know whether I told you. So I was going to Bombay. So I was on the flight. And after, I had one person who was next to me and I was talking to him. And he has some spiritual question, I was answering it. Then we got off the flight and then went to the immigration. And then both of us together. And then I did mine and he did his. And then I continued, he had some questions, so I was continuing to talk and I walking away. After some time, I turned around, he was not there. So where is he gone? So their liquid spirituality in the Bombay airport, on the way when you come out, it is all there. He stopped there long time back. Now, I also passed through that, I also saw that, but I had no inclination to go there. Not that it was not there, it was there. So externally the world is there, but whether you have the vasana for that, that decides your action. The thought arises. I didn't stop. Don't doubt it, I didn't stop. So the internal vasanas are creating the relevant thoughts, and external world is conducive to it, it starts expressing. See, your children also, you may not know when they are young, you would not know what they are inclined to. Because as a young child, they are all very cute, very nice. Only when they grow to become Rakshasas, you will realize, oh my God, this fellow. Why? Because that equipment called the brain or the mind has now started to express those vasanas. And no two children will behave the same way, even if they are twins. They won't. Why? Because they are individually born with certain set of vasanas, and those vasanas invariably will express. So where are these vasanas? How do they express? That is why it is said in the next verse.
Indriyani mano buddhi.
Indriyani mano buddhi. Asyadhisthana muchyate. Yetai vimohayatyeshah. Jnanamavritya dehinam. Yeshah, this means desire. Yeshah kamaha. Desire is none other than expression of vasana in the form of a demand. Yesterday also explained to you, there is a constant demand for us for happiness. Everyone, every moment is looking for happiness. You came here to this session to sit there and listen is also for happiness. 8:30 you want to get out of it, for it's also happiness. Right? Eating is also for happiness. Letting go also is also for happiness only. If you don't let go, there will be a miserable condition. Is it not? So every moment the desire is expressed. Eshaha kamaha. What is this kama? The demand for happiness which we project it on objects. As explained yesterday, think. It's called Shobana Adhyasa. Shobana Adhyasa means projection of happiness on an object. Even though the object does not have ability to give you happiness, you think that this will give me happiness. So the vasanas combined with wanting to be happy together create a demand for happiness. Demand for happiness supported by the vasanas will start projecting happiness upon objects, and the desire arises out. That's why the word dhyayate vishayan. In second chapter he talks about vishayan pumsaha dhyayate. Vishayan, objects, dhyayate, thinks about. We are all capable of meditation because Vishaya Dhyanam takes place all the time. Right? Everybody is capable of meditating on what they desire to own. So Vishaya Dhyanam. So Dhyayataha. While he is thinking about Dhyayataha Vishayan Pumsaha Sangaha Teshu Upajayate. Meaning Sangaha, mental association takes place. Sangha sanjayate kama. So if you analyze that carefully, so the idea that the object has got the joy or happiness is caused by demand for happiness, And that also previous experience of that object being a source of happiness caused by that impression is there, vasana is there. It can be this birth or even previous birth. So that impression supports your conclusion. Yesterday I had masala dosa in this restaurant. It was tasty. So if somebody says, can we go for a evening dinner? Masala dosa. Where do you go? On that restaurant. So the previous impression is now able to direct your thought towards that. Right? So now the question is, where does it reside and how does it express? This is the question. Arjuna asked this question. Why? Because knowing very well, desire is the cause of the problem. How is that people cannot stop it? Atakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichannapi varsneya baladivanyojitaha. The question is not there in this verse, so the answer is given here. Why is that people are so forced to engage in the desirable actions, even though they know it is not proper? See, if a desire is a proper desire and you are pursuing it, is okay. But desire becomes sometimes very strong that you go improper ways to fulfill that. So why is that? So Bhagavan said, Kama esha krodha esha. It is a desire and anger that causes this. So he asked, where is this desire staying in my personality? In 3 places. Indriyani manaha buddhihi asya adhishtanam. Kamasya adhishtanam. Adhishtanam means abiding place or residing place. Here. So 3 places it resides. Where? Senses, mind and intellect. Indriyani mano buddhihi asyadhishtanam uchyate etaihi vimohayati eshaha. Etaihi, by these, eshaha kamaha, vimohayati. It causes a delusion. How? He says, dehinam jnanam avritya. By covering the wisdom of the person or knowledge of the person. Here not to be jnanam to be understood as, even he has a knowledge that this is not correct, it will overpower him. Jnanam avritya dehina. Dehina jnanam. The person's, individual's knowledge has been overpowered. Now let us go step by step to understand this. Gurudev has said in many places, there are 3 kinds of mind we have. Some of you have many minds. No, let us only take 3 now. Subconscious mind, conscious mind and unconscious mind. In Western psychology, it's a different way they have used these 3 terms. I'm not going to that part. Now, while you are now here listening to me, you are in the conscious mind state. Meaning, you are analytical, as much as I am. I am telling you a logic. Why it is, what it is, how it is, what it is not, etc. So, in a conscious mind state, you are analyzing the thoughts or what you are getting into your, psyche or what you are hearing. You are analyzing it step by step. Analytical means you go, okay, this is the reason, this is why it is, this is why it is. This is called a conscious mind. And when children go to school, they are given education at that point only. They are given education in their state of mind which is conscious. Conscious means where it can fully utilize the ability of the intellect. And we as human beings, we think that we are very intelligent living being, which is a very serious misconception. Because many of our decisions in our life are not done by the conscious mind. most of our decisions are overpowered by the subconscious mind. What is subconscious mind? Emotions, desires, vasanas, inclinations. You go to a buffet, varieties of food is there, rasagulla, even though you know it's unnecessarily nothing but loaded with sugar. And you know that is not good for your body. Subconscious mind says, le lo, le lo, le lo. Aaj le lo, kal nahi milega, le lo. No, subconscious mind is what is demanding it now. Conscious mind says, don't. But which one you listen to? Logical mind, it won't listen. You won't listen to the logical mind. You will only listen to the subconscious mind. Now, let me tell you very carefully, you should understand this. When the children are small, their observation about world and how they look at the world is decided by the observation of them around what is happening around them. The parental behavior, teacher's behavior, the words of the teacher, words of the parents, the conversation, it goes into the subconscious mind. That is why when you send your children for the school, they start learning languages, unwanted also. Why? Because they cannot discriminate. At that stage, their conscious mind is not being fully developed. Subconscious mind immediately picks up the information. And then you say, oh, don't say those things. My friends say that. You don't say that. The fellow is confused. Why not? It cannot analyze why it is not correct. Conscious mind is not developed. So, most of our deep-rooted impressions are at the subconscious level. And that is very powerful. All our behaviors, all our habits are subconscious level. You do not want to do it, but you will do it. You know it is not right, you will do it. You know it is not right to say, you will say it. This is why he says, Jnanam avritya dehinam mohayati. So the vasanas which are gathered over many, many lives are present at the subconscious level. And this subconscious mind alone you experience in dream. Dream has no conscious effort. In dream, do you think logically? In dream, do you decide? In dream, do you plan? In dream, you are just a witness and experiencer of whatever is being brought into you by your own inner mind, right? You have no choice there. So when we do not use our conscious mind and allow the subconscious mind to take over, our choices are limited. So that is the reason why Bhagavan again and again says, use your buddhi, use your buddhi. Buddho sharanam anvicha kripana phalahetaha. Use your intellect for this. Intellect means your ability to discriminate, that you use, even as the subconscious mind has been very powerful. This subconscious mind remains with its desires intact and operating through indriya, mana, buddhi. And unconscious mind is the state of sleep, where both conscious and subconscious are taking rest. It is not unconscious state, it is unconscious state of the mind, because mind doesn't disappear, it is there, but it is not at the conscious level or subconscious level. If mind is totally not there, then that means it's gone. So gaya. Not so gaya, mar gaya. So gaya is not operating. It is like, when your computer you put hibernation, right? hibernate. Why? You just touch it, it'll start again. That is a state of sleep. Sleep is where the hibernation takes place, not switched off. So here, Indriya Manaha Buddhi Asya Adhishtanam Uchyate. Etaihi. Etaihi means by Indriyahi, by the Indriyas, by the mind, Buddhya, Manasa, Buddhya, Mohayati. It causes delusion. So in the senses, in the form of sense gratification, in the mind, in the form of emotions and feelings, in the buddhi, in the form of justification. Your habits are justified. Why you want coffee early in the morning? I have been having. That is your answer. And it does not cause a problem, so why should I not have? But if you look at it, why do you need the coffee? Really? Why do you need it? Because it is habit, that's all. There is no logical reasoning for this. But you justify it. Buddhi justifies it. So when we are able to recognize that these inherent tendencies which express as desires are operating through the senses, mind and the intellect, thereby even when you have knowledge, it is overpowering. That's why in the Vivek Chudamani, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, even if a person has learnt about Brahman, Atman, all Vedanta, vasanas, they will overpower him. Jnate vastunyapi balavati vasana anadiresha karta bhokta api ahamiti ya asya samsara hetuhu pratyak drishtya nivasati sada sapaneya prayatnat muktim prahut tadihamanayo vasana tanavam yat. Muktihi vasana tanavam. Reduction of vasana is called mukti. In one single statement, if you want to define moksha, reduction of vasana is moksha. When you are in a marketplace, there are so many things that are there, but if you don't want anything, are you not free? But I don't want anything. So even if the world of so many things are there, but I don't want anything. So if you do not demand anything from these people around you, will you be disappointed any time? Our expectations are there from every person whom we meet. He is not smiling. I don't know why. I'm not going to smile. This is the problem with us. Why are you demanding and expecting from the world all the time? See, you think about it. I go to the airport with this dress. Do you expect the people in the airport to fall at my feet? How stupid that would be. So I know that even though the Swami is supposed to be, saluted or nobody does that. So, the useless fellows. Whose the problem is this? Whose problem is this? Similarly, when the world is there and you don't want anything from the world, so how can you not be free? Our vasanas are constantly demanding. That is why Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Jnate vastuni api. Even a person knows intellectually what is that. Balavati vasana. Anadi. Desires and the vasanas are so strong and so many. Esha vasana anadi. And in the what form it expressing? Karta, bhokta, aham iti. I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. Sa, that is the one very cause of the entire samsara. That is the one is the cause of the entire bondage. How do you overcome that? Pratyak drishtya. Turn your attention to yourself, higher self. Nivasati sada. Remaining there in that attention. Sa apaneya. To be overcome. Prayatnat. With effort. Muktim prahu tadiha muneha. Muneha muktim iti prahu. This is what is called liberation. Vasanātānamam yat. So, obviously, Arjuna was told that this vasana is operating through Indriyani, Manaha, Buddhi. Right? So, obviously, then he would ask, how do I start my process of overcoming the vasanas? So, Krishna answered saying that, start from Indriyas. Tasvatmam Indriyani ado niyamya bharadarshava. By starting from control of the senses. Tasmat tvam indriyani ado. Tasmat tvam ado indriyani samimya. From there he says, slowly understand the effect of these vasanas operating at the outermost point. You start from there. Gurudev used to give a beautiful example for this. There was a thief, a criminal who is wanted. Outlaws are wanted. I don't say the next statement. Outlaws are wanted. The rest of the is filling the blank. You have to do. If you don't know, I don't care about it. See, some of them only understood in between the lines. So this criminal was needed and was wanted, and so the police, they said, let us find out where this fellow usually goes and hides. So they went and put some police officers in the club which he visits every time. So the criminal understood, the police cops are around in that very favorite place of mine, so I cannot go there. Next, they put the cops near his girlfriend's place. So there. So when he wanted to go to his girlfriend's place, he saw some suspicious people around that area. So the only place where he possibly can go is his mother's house. So there they were hiding and waiting. Because if he's not going to the club, he's not going to his girlfriend's place, he must be coming here only. So in the same way, you curtail the operations of the vasanas from Indriya first. Tasmat tvam indriyan yado niyamya bharadashapa papmanam prajahihyenam jnana vijnana nashanam. When you curtail the activities of these vasanas at the level of the senses, then move to the mind, and where it will come finally is the buddhi. There, with the knowledge, you kill it. They attack with the knowledge. So, that is the reason why Indriya Nigraha, control of the senses, are given a lot of importance. Because that is the outermost area where the vasanas are able to play around. Some people say, Swamiji, it's after all in the mind, So I will continue to engage in what I desire to do in the senses knowingly. Meaning what? In mind I will be detached, but I will continue this. See, Swamiji, I have to overcome vasanas, is it not? Yes. I will exhaust the vasanas by indulging in it. By indulging, it will never get exhausted. From next January 1st onwards, I am not going to smoke. Until then, I will smoke. And then I will exhaust that very swasana for smoking. If you know the danger of smoking, why not you start from now? Why you wait for January 1st? That means you have not understood. Mullah Nasruddin was asked by his friend that I want to quit smoking, how do I do it? Just give up. Today onwards you give up. It's very difficult. Don't worry, I have done it many times. What do you mean by many times? Meaning you have given up and then again taken it, and then given up again you have taken it. So sense organs are the places where you will have to first stop. When you stop there, it will go to the mind. Right? When you are not allowing the expression of the vasanas at the physical level, it will start creating thoughts. Hey, why are you not doing it? So, the path of devotion is meant for direction of the vasanas towards God. Take to japa or upasana or vratas. Why they are demanding so many in our Hinduism or many other religion also? Why do they say that on Fridays I won't eat meat, Swamiji? Why? That means if you are not eating on a particular day, that means it is not meant for you. Other days you are indulging, only on that day I won't eat. You know those people who go for Shabarimala and all that. 45 days, vratam. 45 days, right? Huh? 41. You should see them on the 42nd day. Indulge. So what does it mean? They have not convinced. For whose sake we are doing it? Bhagavan ke liye kar raha hu. Bhagavan ke liye mat karo. Because Bhagavan ko kush karne ke liye main kar raha hu. Bhagavan Ishwara Prityartam. Ishwar is already happy. You don't need to do anything for that. These kind of vratas are prescribed so that we overcome that inclination, the swabhava and the habit. If that doesn't happen, so when you control at the level of the senses, it will start going to the mind in the form of strong thoughts. At that time only you have to do all the sadhanas of disciplining the mind. Tapas is spoken about there. Tapas in the form of disciplining the mind, redirecting to God, changing the thought process, taking your God's name or japa or other things in place of such thoughts. But ultimately it has to be killed with knowledge. How? This body I am not, this senses I am not, this mind I am not, this buddhi also I am not, so let that be there. I would not even bother about its existence. Let it be. I don't pay attention to it. Because I am Paramatma, the self, so therefore anything that is of the matter level, I am not. This knowledge alone can find the death knell on it. If you do not do at the level of the senses, you try to do it from the top, buddhi onwards, your subconscious mind will find ways and methods of overpowering you. That's why Bhagavan says, Jnanam avritya dehinam. It will overpower your jnanam. Start therefore from indriya, senses. Tasmatvam indriyani ado niyamya paradarshapa papmanam prajahi enam. This is the sinner. Jnana vijnana nashanam papmanam prajahi. Get rid of this which will destroy your jnana or vijnana. So we'll see the next set of verses about Bhagavan saying, this knowledge that I am giving it to you is not something that I decided to think about it only today. I gave it at the time of creation. This is not today I am talking to you. I gave this knowledge long time back. And again I come to give this knowledge. In the 4th chapter is about Avatar Mahima. Why that avatar of Krishna and why he again and again gives this knowledge, how it is important for us to overcome our impurities and imperfections and finally reach our goal of life, Parama Purushartha. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।